What's up, wild ones? So you want to know the key, right? To unleashing all of that delicious creative potential that you hold inside to become so wild and untamed and free in the way that you speak, in the way that you share your message, whatever the medium may be, your art, like that impact that you want to have in the world. You want the secret, right? What's the thing? How do I connect to the muse anytime I want to? When I sit down, when I even think about writing or thinking about sitting down at the easel or whatever it is, or thinking about sitting down at the keyboard, and I want to feel like, oh, I know the muse is here with me. I know I'm going to create magic right now, rather than, right? The other option is like dread. It's dread. It's like you won't even get your butt in the chair because there's so much dread that the muse isn't going to show up, which means that you're just going to sit there and you're going to create crap, or you're not going to create anything at all, right? And so we want the key, and we're like, what is it? What is it? What's the key? And today when I was sitting down, I was like, before I sat down to get my butt in the chair for the video, I was like, okay, what do we want to talk about today? Well, what's on, what's alive, what's yummy? And it is this, the key to it all. Are you ready? Lean in. Get real comfy here. Like, let's go deep. It's consistency. I know. You're like, you asshole. I thought you were going to share something really powerful. This is so powerful. I've always been creative in many different veins, but now that I'm really like, this is my year of turning pro with my art, it has shown me, my art has shown me that it is not about us waiting for the muse to show up. We've got to show up for the muse. We have to show up for our art. We have to show up for our creativity. The energetic frequency of being this embodied professional artist, whatever that might mean for you, means that we have to be willing to take the first step. So this is like, okay, I want to sit back and I just want all the clients and the fame and the impact and the wealth and the soulmate, the twin flame. I just want to sit here and do nothing and everything will show up, right? And that's when we're a little too much into the feminine, or we are actually not in our feminine. We're just acting out of our fears, right? The fears of what if nobody shows up, the fears of what happens if I really get successful and I lose everyone in my life, the fears of what if my art isn't good enough, all of that stuff, right? It can actually manifest in us being like, I'm just gonna be really in my feminine and I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna open and receive, when we're not really opening and receiving. We're just actually on this energy frequency that's super low because we have so many fears about it's not gonna work out, we're not good enough, no one's gonna show up, the abandonment, all that kind of stuff. And so we kind of use the feminine as the way to explain how we're not actually making progress, or we're not actually receiving and living out our desires. And so what's really been like wild for me is this idea of how do we play then, right? How do we play with being in that feminine space of receptivity? And this goes for man, women, whatever, right? How do we play with that space of trusting, of surrender, while also taking action, right? And it's about us doing our part and then trusting and surrendering and letting God, universe, divine do his part, okay? So when we're willing to show up, this means that if you want to create a video, let's just say, and you're like, I've got nothing to talk about, I have no idea what to create. And so you take a month, you take 6 months, 2 years later, you still haven't created that video, darling, because you're waiting for some divine inspiration to actually, make this video that, your first video, it's going to go viral, it's going to get picked up by like TechCrunch or The Cut or, freaking Mind Valley or whatever. Like, you're just like, oh my God, I need the thing that everyone is going to be, it's going to go viral and it's going to be like perfect and it's going to change the world, this one video. Yeah, how about instead we play with consistency? And consistency means that you get your butt in the chair regardless of whether or not you feel inspired, because we trust that inspiration comes from the devotion, from the energetic frequency of devotion is like you can't even it's incredible what happens when we're in the space of devotion. I want you to feel into it. Like, if you can remember any time in your life when you were in devotion, that bliss, that orgasmic waking bliss of simply being so committed, and so you trusted, and you believed, and you were completely embodied in that vibration of being a yes, right? That's what's required for us to open to the Muse. It is a conscious co-creation with the Muse. It is not us just saying, okay, Muse, you show up, and then, once you're there, once you've given me all the ideas, that's when I'll sit down and be committed. So this is a different way of thinking of things. This is flip it. Some resources for you. Big Magic, amazing, amazing book. Listen to it on a run, read it, in the bath, like whatever it is. Big Magic, amazing. Stephen Pressfield, I love him. Turning Pro. Amazeballs, right? Like, just start to dive in, and it flips your idea, this notion of us waiting for the Muse when we're not really in a receptive vibe. We think we are, right? But really we're in a fear vibe. So I want you to begin to recognize that fear vibration versus a true, like, delicious, okay, I'm gonna lay back and receive, right? There's a difference. And when nothing is really shifting, you've got to wonder, maybe I'm not so much in that, like, yeah vibe. I'm really just kind of like, I don't think it's going to work. And so I'm doubting, and so I'm fearing, and I'm being all da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm not actually allowing it to happen, right? So us doing our part, God doing his part, and then this beautiful alchemy happens where the Muse is present with us. Now, warning, this does not mean everything you're going to create is like, oh my God, world-changing viral video. Like, nope. You're gonna make shit that nobody sees. You're gonna make shit that people are like, that was horrid. You're gonna make shit that you think is horrid. You're gonna make shit that, oh my God, it sparked something in one person. Oh my gosh, you're gonna make something that starts a movement, right? But you don't get to starting a movement. You don't get to that thing that is like, your soul feels like it is now complete. Like, oh my God, we've done our work. You don't get there until, and not that we're ever like, we're not finishing it's not a, whatever. Anyway, but you don't get there without failing, without, or feeling like you're failing, or without creating some crap along the way. You've got to create crap along the way, right? Like Harrison Ford, he didn't have his big break until he was in his 40s, right? So he was out there like freaking construction worker doing all kinds of things. He was in his 40s before he got his big break. And you think like, Harrison Ford, this freaking guy has been acting forever. He's like, and he's so huge. And no, he worked, and he stuck to it, and he made a whole bunch of crap and he had a whole bunch of failures, and then boom, it happened, right? Then he didn't give up. He stayed consistent, okay? So I want you to really start to embody this idea, this notion, and this frequency of commitment and consistency with your art, with your message, and with your life, right? Like, just in every aspect, okay? I hope that resonates. If it does, make sure you are subscribed and turn on that little bell for notifications. Shoot me a comment. Let me know if you are in the space of consistency and commitment to your art, or if you're still kind of in that, like, sometimes I show up and sometimes I don't. And let me know what you need. Like, really, how can I help? How can I serve? So that is it. I love you guys. Check out the links in the description. Of course, if you want some more resources on the free tip, then go to nikacarly.com/wildtribe. And if you want to go deeper with me, like you want to move from just taking in more information to actual integration and implementation on the highest level, then you want to join me in Sex Magic Woman. And you can go to sexmagicwoman.com and let's play. All right, it is lifetime access right now. That will be changing. I'm about to really launch it. And so the first 55 women who join right now, or the next 55 women who join right now, will get lifetime access for the same investment that later people will get at an annual investment. So yeah, methinks it's time to join. All right, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out, homies. Bye.